Welcome to the Volkswagen ID.7. We are out here in very beautiful sunny Spain to have a look at this and have a little drive as well. This is the new Halo model from Volkswagen. It's pure electric. It sits on the same MEB platform that we already see in the ID.Buzz, the ID.3 and the ID.4. In this case, it's going to get a 77 kilowatt hour battery and an 82 kilowatt hour battery, which is going to give you a range of between about 380 miles up to about 430. At this point, the official finalised WLTP figures are still a little bit out there, so that might be subject to a bit of change. Certainly, it's going to be really efficient, not least due to the aerodynamics on this. So, talking about a drag coefficient of 0.23, and you can see that one of the reasons they've got really sort of closed front end, and also got this through vent here with the air that goes through, and that helps it to sort of go over the wheel. You're talking about a 5-metre car, sort of space that you get passenger-wise in terms of, Tesla Model S, Mercedes EQE, but you're looking at prices from about £55,000 and up in the UK. Orders open in the summer and probably deliveries from later this year around about November.
As for practicality, there's tons of room in the rear seats and in the boot, much more than in the BMW i4 for instance.
This is a car that's very much focused on comfort, on long distance touring, and I think the interior really shows that. Driving position's really good, plenty of support to the seats, plus if you add the optional sort of upgraded seats, you get heated and cooled seats, and they'll even sort of sense whether you need the seats cooled automatically. Head-up display with augmented nav on it. You also get a tiny little display in here with all the kind of essential information you need, which I really like. It's very simple, it's not cluttered. It just gives you your speed, sort of essential safety stuff. That's really good. You've still got touch-sensitive temperature and volume controls, unfortunately. They are now backlit at night, and that is very good news. Plus, the voice assistant has been upgraded. I have to say, I've been using it, and it's really good. And you can use the voice assistant to mute the navigation, which I'm really pleased about. It does seem to have been really quite effective when I've been using it. The shortcut buttons underneath the screen that you'll be familiar with from the ID.3, ID.4 and all those kind of cars, they're now in the top of the touchscreen here. So they're up here, shortcut buttons in the screen rather than beneath it. I don't think that's a massive problem. You can also now preheat the batteries ahead of rapid charging. You've got a manual button for that, but you have to go through the system to do that too. So little details like that's a bit frustrating, but it responds quickly. The graphics are great. It's also got a fancy new climate control system, which is sort of Tesla-like, I think. You can angle the vents, or indeed looks very similar to what you get in the Porsche Taycan. You can set it on a profile even, so you can have your climate set how you like it, with the vents aiming the way you like them, and then you can save it to your profile. It really has got a lot of new tech on the ID.7, and it really is sort of mostly focused on making you more comfortable, on making the car sort of fit your requirements when you get in. You've got your profiles that you can save to everything, you can change your home settings and all of that stuff.
We've been given access to a pre-production car ahead of the ID.7's official reveal, hence the snazzy disguise on our test car.
As for how the car drives, this test car is really high spec. This is on adaptive dampers, which will likely be optional. UK specs haven't been confirmed yet. It feels very sure-footed. We haven't had a huge amount of time in it, but you do get your drive modes. The steering feels actually probably a bit more direct than perhaps some of the other models that you get in the MEB. I think it sort of feels quite heavily weighted, even in sort of normal and eco. And then sport mode, of course, it feels quite a bit heavier. It's not a car that I particularly feel like I want to drive quickly, but it does feel exceptionally composed and really, really refined. I mean, blimey, this thing's so quiet. It is whisper quiet. I mean, there is no motor whine in this at all. And actually the ride, even on adaptive dampers, there's a bit of thump over that sort of sharp edge kind of expansion joints and that kind of thing. It feels really composed. You've got this exceptionally raked A-pillar on the car, and that's one of the things you do notice when you get in. You feel quite kind of, you do feel like it's actually quite a sort of sporty feeling car in that respect, I suppose, in terms of the driving position. But the way it drives is full-on, posh, luxury executive. It doesn't feel like a sporty car, it just feels like it wants to cosset you in every possible way. And I'm absolutely fine with that. I think this system, for the brief time I've had with it, seems to work a bit better than the other sort of MEB systems. I think it feels like it's sort of responding quickly. I like the fact that it's very adaptive, the fact that you can change the home screen, you can save all your settings. It is going to be one of those cars you are going to need to spend some time with it and decide how you like it, get the settings how you want it, and then it will feel like less of a faff. Still frustrates me that you have to go quite a long way into the system to sort of find things like the drive modes, turning off lane keep assist. I would like that to be much more upfront and easier to access. But other than that, I have to say the screen's lovely. I can see the head-up display in bright sunlight. Generally, this is an early drive and I have not spent a huge amount of the time with the car yet. There's a lot to learn about it. But as a sort of brief introduction to it, that is the ID.7. And I'm actually really very impressed. I think it's going to be a really interesting and really very competitive entrant to this already. It's a very sort of hard-won class, isn't it? So, well done Volkswagen, I think it's going to be a good one. Don't forget to head to cargurus.co.uk for a whole host of fantastic used cars. While you're here, like the video, subscribe to the CarGurus UK YouTube channel and turn your notifications on so that you don't miss any of our videos.